All right, what's up there, SEO pros? Welcome back. Today we're going to be finally doing the SEO giveaway for Craig Anthony, the guy who won. Because his site's actually done in PHP, well, actually it's being migrated over to PHP, what we're going to be doing today is we're actually just going to be doing a technical SEO audit. We're still going to be going very in depth into this and giving Craig a lot of good stuff for his site moving forward for his migration. So I hope you guys are stoked for this. We're just going to dive right into it right now. And if you have any questions along the way, either leave them in the comments while we're live or leave them after if you're rewatching this right now. And I will make sure to answer those for you with some live video feedback or video feedback. And yeah, so let's just dive right into it. So let me just move this screen over a little bit for you guys so I don't get in the way. Put this down like that, and that looks about good. Let me make sure I can see the YouTube comments if you guys do decide to comment, and we're pretty much good to go. So one of the things that I did request from Craig before I started was analytics and search console data. So if you're going to be doing any sort of SEO audit, it's very, very helpful to have analytics and search console data if the people have it. If they don't, then no big deal, but still very helpful to have. So first thing we're going to want to do is go to the analytics, and we're going to close out of this. And welcome, Tech Savvy Solutions. You've been on it today, man. I saw you in the other video too. All right, so I got to find the website. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, so one of the things I did notice was that we didn't start getting analytics data until about, it looks like analytics probably didn't get implemented until about last Friday. So that's a little unfortunate, but you know, it's still kind of good to be able to see some data. One of the first things we do want to look at is if Craig's getting any sort of referral traffic that's going to be referral spam, because that is one thing that we're going to want to make sure we filter out for him moving forward. So the way that you can do that is just go to acquisition, all traffic, and then source medium. And then right here we'll see our different sources where we're getting our traffic from. Looks like everything's pretty much okay. Nothing's skewing the data. But Craig, moving forward, the thing is Google made it so that it's pretty easy. They basically filter out the bad referrals for you. But if they don't, then you still want to check this and make sure, because sometimes this referral traffic can still go through. And all you have to do is just go to your admin, go to your filters, and then filter out that referral traffic there. If you can't figure it out, I think I have a video for it, or just YouTube, how to filter out referral traffic. But probably shouldn't be too big of a problem. I just wanted to make sure. So yeah, this is some good data. We have our different data so far from Facebook. I know Craig gets a lot of referrals from Facebook and social media because he does a lot of marketing there. One of the things that we do want to look at is like the bounce rates. It looks like they're 33%. That's pretty good. Well, at least from direct. From Facebook, they're at 88%. So that's pretty high. You usually don't want anything above like a 50% bounce rate. If you can, unless it's like a landing page for like something where people are just looking for information and then they're going to be leaving afterwards, then it's okay to have a high bounce rate. But like I said, overall, not too much information here, so I can't really tell you too much about this. We can start looking at the demographics. You know what? Let's not dive into analytics yet. Let's dive in, because that goes into conversion rate optimization. Let's look at the basics. Sorry for skipping ahead. Let's look at the basics, and then we can go into more of the advanced, like conversion rate optimization and maybe even some A and B testing, since I do know he's doing products on his site. So let's grab his URL, which is reformations.co.uk. Reformations.co.uk. This is a nice site. I like it. Looks pretty cool. The first thing I usually do when I go to a site, any site really, as long as I'm doing an audit, is I click the Moz bar. And if you don't have the Moz bar, it's a free tool. It's offered by Moz. If you just Google Moz bar, it'll show up. You can download it as a Chrome extension. It's really helpful. I'm going to log in so we can view the data. One of the things is that you do have to log in to view the data, which is kind of the downfall. But it is what it is. All right, so first thing we see, page authority 19, domain authority 4. What does that mean? It means we can get more links for the domain, but because this is a pretty much new domain, Craig just got it started a little while ago, which explains why the analytics weren't implemented till the 30th. You can't really expect this to have too high of a domain authority. Now the thing is that people who have brand new domains, they usually want to rank like very fast. And the thing is with brand new domains, it's a lot harder to rank really quickly with a brand new domain because the domain authority is a lot lower. There's not really any trust for this domain. Doesn't mean you can't still rank, but it's a lot harder because you don't have trust to your site. So one of the big things for new sites is creating content, start getting shares, start getting links to your different pages, start doing interlinking. We're going to look at that in a second, just to give you guys a note though. Shane, yeah, this is still the garage. My green screen stopped working because there's like this skylight right here, or not even a skylight, just a remove panel, and I had to I couldn't do the green screen because I'm doing a stand-up desk now, but that's off the subject. So if you click on the Moz bar, you'll be able to see the different on-page elements. So this is important because a lot of the stuff we're going to be doing today is mainly on-page. So if we look at the URL, we'll see this is Canada, obviously. Page title looks about 63 characters. That's a good length. We have glass wall art and abstract clocks, and then a little pipe, Craig Anthony reformation. So I haven't done the keyword research yet, but we could look at that. We're going to want to look at that in a second and see how viable it is to rank for that. The thing is that with home pages, you can change, or with any page really, you can change the title tags a bunch. You don't have to have really hard competitive keywords on your home page right off the bat. You can start with really long tail specific keywords at first and then change your title tags. I've changed the title tags on my homepage on some of my sites before I got them ranked like 30 times. Okay. Meta description, 147 characters. That looks good. Looks like he has his keywords in there. Meta keywords. One of those things, Craig, is meta keywords aren't something that you need anymore. Google might even look at them as a negative ranking factor. So I will leave this in the audit to remove that tag. Go to Notepad and just say, oops. Bring this over here. Make sure to remove keyword tags. So one of the things that Craig did say to me, and he just mentioned in the comments, is that he said I'm on page 1 for glass clocks 2017. Now, even though you did it from an unbiased search, you can still get skewed results. So glass clocks 2017, it's not showing up for me. And I'm pretty sure it's not showing up for anybody else. And the reason why I say that is because I actually plugged this into SEMrush also, and I don't see any ranks for this. And I know that might sound disappointing to you, but which it kind of is, but that's a hard keyword to rank for right off the bat. And for you to rank that fast anyways, it would be very hard to do. So if you really want to do an unbiased search and you're not seeing it in the data's being skewed through your own stuff, maybe because you're still signed in or something, you can actually go and type in unbiased search like this, honeypot marketing. And this is a code you can add to your searches to make sure they're actually unbiased. Craig's all sad. That's all right, man. Oh, looks like I can't get in here. Yeah, something's wrong with the DNS on this server. I don't know. Maybe they're moving over to HTTPS. Either way, so yeah, sorry to inform you about that. Next, one of the things that's big for 2017 is to make sure that you move over to HTTPS if you can. And since this is such a brand new site, do it now, Craig, because that's the best time to do it. So make sure to get SSL if you can. I don't see why you couldn't, but definitely try to do that. H1's home of handmade glass clocks and modern glass art by Craig Anthony. Looks good. H2, and we talked about this before. In my opinion, this H2 is too long. You can do whatever you want, but in my opinion, having an H2 that is a 521 characters is not a good thing to do. I would try to keep them like, not that long. You can do it, but I would try not to do that. So bold and italics, you should utilize these if you can. Anywhere you can. So like for instance, modern glass lighting, you might want to do like a bold and italics, only where it makes sense really. One of the other things I did notice, and the alt text does look good. One of the things I did notice, Craig, was that this page has a very small amount of content. And I know like in terms of like people who are artists or people who are selling art or some sort of like, product that they want their pages to look nice, they don't add a lot of content because they want it to be really simplistic. It's usually better to have more content, but really if you don't, it's not that big of a deal. One of the things I would make sure you have no matter what is some sort of call to action on this page, because there's gonna be a lot of people hitting your home page, and having that call to action there gives them the opportunity to send you a message, to sign up for an email. I've experimented a lot with this on my different sites, and it's really, really good to have a call to action on your home page. So I would definitely do some sort of CTA, especially on this type of site. It could even be shop now. Okay, slider doesn't look too bad. I don't know how much this is bogging down the site. It might be slowing it down. In that case, you might want to get rid of it, but if you really like it, then keep it. Page speed. I know a lot of people love sliders, at least for their own sites, and some people like the way they look on other people's sites as well, so I don't want to tell you not to do that. The next thing we do want to look at, and this is all just the homepage, we haven't moved anywhere else yet, we haven't done keyword research, we haven't really looked at like, the different technical things you could do for like social and like whatever he's doing in terms of all of his different networks, but right now we're just doing the homepage, so if you guys are thinking this is really basic, just hang in there with me, I'll keep going, and if you have any questions, like I said, just make sure you ask me. Okay, so we got on-page elements. We're going to look at the general attributes. We got index follow robots, which is good. Means that you are getting indexed. No canonicals, that's fine. 1.6 second load time. Looks like it's really fast, so I wouldn't worry about the slider bogging things down. Of course, the link metrics, well, I don't think actually we're even able to see them anymore with the new update on Moz because Moz took that away. But because it's so new, it doesn't really matter anyways, and we can use Ahrefs. I have an account there. We can look at that. So we do have OG data, which, if you guys don't know what OG data is it's the data you'll see Facebook and other social platforms look at when they're sharing your stuff or when somebody goes to share your stuff. So we should take a look and see what this looks like. So if we go to Facebook debugger, we can see if there's any problems with this, because we want to make sure that his site's shareable, especially on the clock pages, because if they're shareable, then people are going to be more likely to see them and buy them and go directly to those pages. So what we're going to do, just plug it right into here. And we will see that we have looks like a small problem, but overall looks like this looks okay. And then we can also see the share count, the comments. I think if we click more info, it doesn't show it specifically, I guess, but this is how it's going to look when it's shared. It says abstract art with a touch of glass. And we might want to share, redo that. We might want to share a video instead. We might want to change the meta description. It really depends on what our goal is for our social. But for as of now, at least there's an image there. At least there's a title. Looks okay. So we do want to take a note, though, that we might want to change the social OG data in the future. So let's just make sure that we recheck OG data on other pages. Okay, cool. So we looked at that. Let's cancel out some of these so we don't get too overwhelmed. One of the things that we don't have is Twitter cards, which is like another form of OG data, which is kind of nice to be able to have to share. And then also micro formats you don't have to worry about, but schema you do have to kind of pay attention to. So in this case, what we're probably going to want to do is organization schema markup. And what that is it's like, it's to show that you're a brand. It's to show that you, if you have correct organization schema markup, there's some really good benefits that can happen. One, it might help you be more trusted by Google. But two, if you become popular enough, they'll start showing your organization in like a knowledge panel, which can really help make your company look more legit, more trusted. People can get more information about you easily from the Google search results. So we definitely want to make sure that we have organization data, and I can probably dive into actually creating this data as well for Craig. So let's just make sure we note that. So we do have some comments coming in. Schema organization data for homepage. And then we're definitely going to want to do product markup for the products as well. Superposition SEO says, do a local client acquisition video next. And this is actually something I've been getting like crazy, and I thought I did this. I'm pretty sure I did this. I can do another one if you guys would like me to. But it's not something that I necessarily want to redo if you guys could already see the other one. You should check out the other one and let me know what you think if you like it. Or if you was missing something, let me know and I'll make another one. Craig Anthony says that's a lot of OG data to implement for every page, but totally agree it needs to be done. We are working on that ASAP. So that's one of the problems with going with custom coded websites and not something like a content management system, because you have plugins that will let you do it for you. So I mean, it is a lot of work, but if you have a CMS, you don't have to worry about it. So that was one of the things I did want to ask you, Craig, was if you're going to be migrating a site over, why not just migrate it over to a CMS while you're already at it, since you're already halfway through? But since you're already halfway through, you probably paid some money, you probably don't want to do it. It's up to you. Okay, so definitely schema markup, organization, we'll look at that. And then, yeah, this is 301, so if we go to the regular URL, should work fine. Or sorry, this is the regular URL, the www. And then that should just be good. Yeah. Okay, so we looked at the home page. We're probably going to want to do more of a technical SEO audit on the home page in the future, but because it's such a new site and most of the traffic isn't going to be coming necessarily to the homepage from organic besides the brand, I don't believe. We're going to be wanting to focus more on the products and long tail variations of those products, in my opinion. The other thing that we want to set this up with is some sort of rank tracker. And I don't know if you're using any sort of rank tracker, Craig, but it would be really helpful if you were, because then we could start plugging you in and seeing a lot of other information that would be really awesome to see. I could probably set you up an SEO profiler and just give you the information in the future if you're interested in it, or just kind of give you a walkthrough to show you how this works. Maybe you guys can see how it works. But either way, the basic principles are that we do need to see the keywords. We do need to see where we're going to be going with this, because it's going to be more than just doing audits. It's going to be more about building content in the beginning. Audits are usually better for bigger sites, but they're also good for sites that are going to be starting out as well, to kind of maintain best practices. Okay, so let's go over to Search Console and see what data we have so far. Devin Edwards says, Craig, transitioning to a CMS may be an initial investment, but having control over your content and helping with SEO will pay itself in the long run. And he says, hey Chase, thank you for your videos. I just found your channel and it's great. Thank you, man. And I totally agree. Craig, it's up to you, man. I don't want to tell you what to do, but Devin has a great point, and I really don't see a big flaw in moving over to a CMS, but except for the time and money you've spent on the migration to PHP. Okay, so far this is what we're getting for our queries. Of course, like I said, mainly brand queries, but the reason why we'll see these other ones is because Google's starting to experiment to showing the site up for different queries, and we'll be able to see what Google's starting to pick up these queries as. So these are potential things we could have in the future. Art on glass, modern homeware, unusual wall clocks, UK abstract art clock, luxury designer clocks, contemporary kitchen accessories. So these are really great to look at, not just for ideas for your site, but ideas for maybe some sort of theme for some sort of shoulder niche for maybe social media, like collaborating with people, getting posts for your website, getting skyscraper articles started, to start getting incoming links, start getting people going to your site, looking at your clocks. We're not that advanced yet with what we're doing, but it could be a good idea that we might want to pursue in the future. And apparently Craig is currently ranking number 47 for a galactic clock. That's pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, because we're not really ranking for too many things besides the brand name, which I thought would happen, there isn't too much we can do, but we can look at the different pages. So these are all the different pages, and we do want to see how many pages are actually on the site. So we're going to go site : and then we got about 106 pages. One of the other things I always like to check out pretty quickly is if there is a sitemap on the site, because you do want to have a sitemap if you can have one. If you don't have one, it is what it is, but he does have one, which is great. Looks good. Turn off this heater. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're just going to look at the overall SEO issues of the site. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug him into a cool tool called Beam Us Up, which I don't know where it is. One second, let me find it. Uno momento. Okay, there it is. So, plug them in, press start. It's going to crawl. One of the other things, Craig, is if you're having a problem figuring out your keywords for some of your main products, you might want to try putting them on like doing a basic search engine marketing campaign, basic PPC campaign. You could spend like $5 a day for the first, I don't know, 5 to 10 days. You'd get a lot of different broad match variations of keywords coming in for those different clocks. And then you could actually see how hard it would be to rank for those clocks, and you would know that you could actually get rankings for those, or at least clicks for those, because other people are actually already going and typing those exact phrases and then clicking on them. Not a big deal though, you can still figure it out without doing that. So one of the things that you did talk to me about, which I actually already knew about because you told me, was that the meta descriptions were a duplicate. You kind of want to do whatever you can to avoid these. But if you can't, it is what it is. But if you can, try to get rid of the duplicate meta descriptions. The page duplicates, looks like there's 2 pages that are duplicate. Try to get rid of those. Titles duplicate, but overall, other than that, not that bad. So let's go to the site and let's look at some of the pages, because we want to have a basic site architecture. There's only so much you can look at through SEO tools. The rest you actually have to do through basically eyeballing it from like what you already know. So we know the call to action needs to be on the homepage. That's one. And then we got these tabs up here. So let's look at the site hierarchy, because there's a certain content layout that needs to happen. So let's click on this. So we got large wall art.html. Cool. And there's a slider here. And these are all pictures, which I'm assuming have alt tags in them. So alt sound wave art with music, and we're going to click on that and see what happens. Cool. Okay, so this is kind of how we're working it. I like one of the good things about what Craig's doing right here is he has these URLs not be they're all like top they're just the domain / soundwave music art. It's not the it's not like 3 paths down, which is good. You don't want to have that. You just want, you know, 1 path. That's all you need. So I do also like how you're keeping these even though they're sold so people can still look at them. And then one of the things I don't know is going to be detrimental or not is the fact that these links are coming from all pictures and no text. It does seem a little weird, and you might, one of the things that I would definitely do with this is I would have, okay, because I think you're probably doing it right where you actually have the content on the actual page and not on these. But it might be good to at least have some sort of description about this, at least have the name of these things. I know it's from an artistic standpoint, but I don't know what the repercussions of having no content with just images and links. It might be okay. As far as the actual pages, you definitely want to have product markup. So let's go to the notepad and add that. So product markup. And the reason why you want to have product markup is because if you ever end up getting reviews, and I don't know if you're going to be doing reviews or getting reviews, or even if you want to end up on like on Google's like shopping network, if you can, well, in that case, you're going to use some sort of third-party site like something called Trustpilot or a bunch of other affiliated networks with Google, and that way you can start getting reviews, and then you can actually start having those show up as aggregate rating in the search results. And what that looks like is you actually get stars underneath your organic search results, and it starts improving your click-throughs, which helps rank you higher. If you don't have reviews, you don't have to put them, and I definitely wouldn't say that you have reviews when you don't, but it's definitely something you can do. Might be a good idea. But definitely either way, do product markup. As far as the content and the actual clocks, let's look at something like this. So if we go here, you'll see a lot of these are on the shopping network like we were talking about. And then this actually, isn't this even a clock of yours right here? No, that's not. Looks really similar. Looks pretty cool. Either way, if we look at the people who are ranking, we click on that, you're going to start seeing certain things within products. And what you'll usually see is like something called supplementary content and main content. And supplementary content is like the content you're going to see on the side, like something like this. This is going to be like on all the different pages with content. And then you're going to have like the actual products themselves. Like, let's see this, which usually has a good amount of content. But in some situations it doesn't. So let's try to go to a different result. And the reason why I'm showing you this, or I'm at least looking at this, is because I'm seeing like what the user intent is behind these certain searches. And it looks like for this search, large abstract glass wall art, people are actually looking for multiple items. They're trying to search for more than one thing, except for this one right here. So you'll see right here, I believe this is product markup. So if we Control C that, and then we go to structured data testing tool. Oh, that was yours on Etsy? I knew that looks similar. Is this one's yours right here? Cool. Yeah. That's awesome that it's showing up. But within Etsy, if we look at it, you'll see product markup right there. And I don't know why they're not showing the reviews. They definitely should be showing the reviews. But you'll see that there are reviews here apparently for your stuff, Craig, which I think you can actually use these as for your schema markup. Or actually, you don't even have to point to anything. But you could use something like this. And I would also, if I were you, I would maybe even put some of these testimonials on your homepage, or however you want to do it. But the thing about Etsy is that you're going to be more likely ranking here, than you're going to be ranking on your own site for a while because of the amount of domain authority this site has. So I would recommend that before you start doing like a bunch of SEO for these separate clocks, like trying to rank for I don't know, extra large art, which is going to be very hard to rank for. You might want to do like more skyscraper content, like doing huge content pieces around shoulder niches, which are related to art or whatever you're trying to rank. And then start getting people flowing into your site, getting email signups. This is like such a popular way to do things. And then you can start getting overall domain authority. And then you can start spending more time doing SEO for for your art, like for specific pages, because you're going to have that domain authority. One of the things that I think is cool though, actually I don't think you are, but if you're going to be trying to rank these pages, you might want to do like similar pages so you can get links going to the other popular items, passing the page authority to your other popular items, and so that you can get those to rank as well. If you're naming these things basically what they are, you're going to be fine. But when you're doing your keyword research and you're naming these title tags and you're naming like you know, these headers, you might want to do a little bit more keyword research first to see if you can find any long tail variations on these keywords. So I just showed you guys a video about this the other day. If you go to answer the public, this tool gives you so much data, it's ridiculous. So like for instance, extra large wall art, or even just a large abstract glass art, and we go there, we go to US, get questions. Okay, apparently that's too abstract. so that's a good sign that we know that that's not really where we want to be going. Let's just do large wall art, see how that goes. Craig says, my thoughts are if Etsy has the domain authority for an image and it's page 1 for blue glass art, then my idea is that Etsy has that stone covered, so I may as well on my own site call the same piece, blue glass decor, so that way the stone is covered too from the same product. I mean, the thing about that is that if you're going to be trying to use the same product, you don't want to rank for duplicate content. So if it's ranking for that on Etsy, it might be okay. But when you're ranking these things on Etsy though, you still have to put in your titles and stuff, right? So that still has to do, you still have to do research. In my opinion, I would try to go for two different things. I would try to go for, like, as we're seeing here, go for like large wall art. Sorry, we don't want to do questions. We want to do, you know, large metal wall art with candles, if that's what it is, and then maybe a different one where it says large canvas wall art for cheap on the website. So that way you can try to get two different things. Otherwise, you're going to be trying to rank for duplicate content, and Google's going to pick up on that and try to rank the one that's already been there first, especially the one that, you know, probably has higher domain authority, probably, you know, you published on first, like Etsy, and then you're going to be trying to rank for the same thing. I wouldn't do it. I would try to rank for something separate. So that's what I would recommend. Blue glass, i.e. covering two keyword terms. Yeah, so, but this is a great way. I would definitely look at this stuff when you're looking at your pages that you're trying to rank, like large wall art, black and white. Maybe that's what it is. And then look at it from different keyword tools like keywordtool.io. See if there's a search rate behind this, like this. If there's a long tail variation, like look at that, large black and white wall art. And I know that's not what that is, but if you can see that there's like a reasonable way to rank for, like if it seems like it's something that you could actually rank for. And the way you can see if this is able to rank for is by looking and gauging other competition. You can eyeball it. Moz actually has a tool where it lets you check the keyword difficulty. The problem is that a lot of these things that people are ranking for are usually like multiple items. So it's harder to rank single items, in my opinion, unless you have a huge amount of content around it. And since you're just trying to rank one product, I don't know if it's worth it for you to spend the time trying to make a bunch of content just to sell one product. So that's kind of one of those things that it's like, it really depends on where you want to go with things. But in terms of like your content, like this is why I'm saying, like, I think it'd be better to do some sort of skyscraper content for you to start out with, and then see where your site's gaining traction, and then start SEOing around those certain things. Because the things I can recommend are basically like have like 300 to 500 words per page. If you can, have product markup, have interlinking going on to other popular parts of your site, have good call to actions. It looks like you have a call to action here, buy on Etsy. Probably also some A and B testing if you can. Let's see what else. We have a question from Lauren saying, do you need to go through every product a website sells and find keywords to rank your full website? So, I mean, it would be good to do that, to have, keywords on all your different pages, but like in some cases, there's so many different products that it's hard to do that. The way I like to do it is find like the biggest, like, the thing is that when you're selling individual products, like, and they're just one item, it's kind of, it's a little bit different than if you had a product that you were selling like multiple items of the same thing. So I think it might be a better idea, Craig, like I said, to either do the content marketing or to do like some sort of category page where you're ranking or you're trying to sell multiple items. So like, for instance, if you had a whole category of large abstract glass wall art and you have like 80 different different things, and you have them all listed there, and then you had a bunch of content based around these different products with testimonials, whatever, product markup, then I think you should go and try to rank that. But as far as these different pages, besides what you're already doing, and besides like doing interlinking and doing basic SEO, like making sure that you have product markup, making sure that you have correct OG data when you go and share these afterwards, making sure that you're using correct title tags and doing some keyword research at least beforehand, maybe trying to rank these for a long tail, I wouldn't be spending most of my time doing SEO on individual items. Lauren says, or more toward content, I have over 200. So Lauren has over 200 different products. So yeah, I think basic SEO needs to be done for these product pages, but for like the long run, for where you should be spending your time, I think it should be more for like category pages, like large wall clocks. You'll see like on this page, this is the page that you're probably going to want to be spending more of your time. And even in this situation, you'll see a lot of these clocks, it's just the clocks, it's not actually content. So this is kind of like one of those tricky situations. I would straight up go for the content marketing approach. That's what I would probably do in this situation, because I know you, Craig, don't necessarily want to be trying to rank these pages with content because you like the way these look like this, and you probably don't want to put too much text here. Besides the reviews, I would definitely have the reviews. I'd go for the content marketing, start a blog on here, start doing shoulder niches, and I can show you how to find these different niches. So we'll go here, click out of there. So like one of these examples, I'm sure if we just type in like 100 best clocks or something, or category pages would be way easier. Yeah. So all right, and you can even have these pages here without having them being indexed by Google, but have the other category pages that you're actually trying to rank with text. But it seems a little sketchy when they're actually not being linked from the menu items, which is the problem. So you might not want to do that, but something to consider. Craig says, can I have the same reviews over some pages, or is that duplicate content? You can, like, you can usually get away with it. You'll see like some of these sites will have like the same reviews, and you generally want to have different reviews for each product. But if it's on like category pages, then you can probably get away with it a little bit easier. The thing is with schema markup and aggregate rating, Google doesn't even check what source you're citing. You can just put whatever stars you want, but you can get in trouble if that's not legit. So as far as the actual product pages, I would probably just do the product markup without the aggregate rating, and then if you create category pages, then I would do the actual the reviews for the 85 reviews you have. Devin Edwards says, Craig Anthony, it looks like the images are taking a long time to load. Chances are they're a lot larger than they need to be. Fast loading pages pages help your SEO, which is true, but we might not be trying to rank those pages is the thing. I'm trying to find like an article. So 16 best digital alarm clocks 2016. So you'll see this is something that people are trying to go for. So one of the approaches is that you could actually try to be included in one of these articles. But you probably want to have more control over something like this, so that way you can swap this sort of thing out. So you'll see digital alarm clocks is basically probably the keyword they're trying to go for. So if we go to SEMrush, we can actually see what these people are ranking for specifically and see what the search rates are for that. What the heck happened to SEMrush? Looks like they changed their interface. Interesting. I think you can just type in the keyword instead of the URL. Let's see. I guess not. Or maybe that is just not search rate. Just try that. So digital alarm clocks, you'll see 3,600 monthly searches. Let's see if they actually show up for that keyword. Bump, bump, bump. Not showing up. Let's type in best, or let's type in 2016. There it is. So people who are typing those keywords, you'll see they're getting traffic to this page. They're obviously looking for like cool, relevant digital alarm clocks that are for 2016. They click on that, they go through this article, and then they click the buy now. So in my opinion, doing a lot of this instead of spending a lot of time doing like the category and trying to rank for clocks and stuff that's going to take ages and ages to rank for the very specific general queries that you probably have art for, I would go for the skyscraper approach combined with some sort of outreach, combined with the social media marketing that you're already doing, but trying to streamline it a little bit more, doing a lot of visual content, maybe even some taking the skyscraper content you're doing and repurposing it as YouTube content, trying to rank for it in YouTube as well, because usually YouTube content is very similar. And I could even show you, like I could even probably do a case study for this for you, where it would be like you're taking the top 16 clocks for 2016, you're making a whole article about it, and then afterwards you literally just review the article, put it on YouTube, and then people are looking at all your different clocks and you're sending them to your website, and then you can also put that on your article, get that to rank too. In my opinion, spend your time doing that type of SEO. You can only do so much with these technical audits, especially with new sites. But one of the big things you want to focus on, like I said before, were like the things that we were talking about. And then make sure that you are doing some sort of keyword tracking and some sort of tracking for your SEO efforts to make sure that you are doing things that are going to be helpful for your site. And then as your site goes on, keep looking at the data through Search Console and see like what Google is showing your stuff for, so you can get a better idea what you should be trying to rank your stuff for if people are clicking on it, if you're getting impressions for it, and then you can spend that time further optimizing your pages. And a good example of this is if we go to Search Console. I'm in private, hold on. So if we go to Search Console, we'll go to a site that already has a bunch of data. We'll go to this one. Let me read the comments. Oh, there's too many comments. I'll read them in a second before I lose my train of thought. So you'll see right here, this is an article that I made about a game that a lot of people have been playing these days. It's like for kids, or there's some older people who play it too, but mainly like teenagers play this game. And I made an article about its ranking. Now, if we go and type in this query, because this is the query, if you look at it right here, this is the query that everybody's typing in when they go to this page. Agario text, or Agario invisible skin. You'll see that my article says nothing about that right there, right? How to become camouflage in Agario. So the cool thing is that you don't actually have to have the exact match keywords in your title tags for you to show up for this. But you'll see in the content I actually mention the keywords, which is showing me up, showing my article up for that. It's the same thing with any other site, and especially with Craig's site, is that when we're going to be doing SEO and we're looking at all the stuff he's getting clicks for, because he's going to start getting clicks, especially if we start doing some content marketing, start doing some basic optimizations to his products, you know, start increasing, you know, the SEO at least on the home page, getting call to actions put on there, all the different things that we can do. We're going to start getting clicks and data for his website. And by looking at that data, we can start re-optimizing our site, making sure that in our content we're saying certain things because we're trying to rank for certain different products. And it makes it a lot easier once we have that data. Okay, now I'll read the comments after I drink some water. Okay. Craig says, thank you, Devin. We are working on that today. So far, we have done the large abstract art page, but not the rest. Lauren says, I'm going through getting my page to load better. Also, my times are around 7 seconds. Whoa, it's a little crazy. I have been working on it all day, and I know that feeling. I've spent many hours just doing literally just trying to fix a plugin to make the site load faster. Craig says, hey Devin, be sure to click the bell next to the subscribe button to be notified of Chase's new videos. Hey, thanks Craig. Devin says yes, or thumbs up. Craig says, I saw your outreach video, Chase, very informative. I will watch that again. Right on. So yeah, I have been doing kind of I've been using my own site as a case study for what you guys can do for your stuff and directly replicate this in any industry because it's what's working. It's what I'm recommending to Craig. It's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. If you do this stuff, instead of spending a bunch of time wasting your time trying to rank for other things that other people are already have a monopoly on, it's going to be way more beneficial to you. And if you watch the SEO series, you'll see this is the page I'm working on, which I don't know why it hasn't been redesigned yet. I keep contacting this guy who I hired, and I even sent him money, and now he still hasn't fixed this. But it's a huge article where I did content breakdowns. You don't have to do this all yourself. You could just do a guest post roundup or expert roundup, which is basically just automatically emailing these people or people with something called Pitchbox or some other outreach application, getting their best tips, plugging them in here, getting them to reshare your stuff, and then by having them reshare your stuff or link to your stuff, does a whole lot of stuff for your site very fast. And this is like one of the best things you can do for a site early on. This is like going to the gym and going on steroids and getting buff versus going to the gym and not eating any food and trying to get buff. It's a lot better to do this stuff first and then do the SEO for your basic pages, at least on a national level or an international level. In terms of local, it's a little bit different. And Craig, you might want to consider doing some sort of local marketing as well. You can try to rank your stuff locally if you're trying to like sell clocks as well in your area. If people are looking for that, if they're not, no big deal. So that's kind of what I recommend. I'm sorry this was only like 47 minutes and I didn't do too much besides like the basic stuff like make sure to remove the keywords tag, get SSL, put a click through or a call to action on your homepage. Also, I would do conversion tracking. If you don't know how to do that, you're just gonna make sure that any click that goes to Etsy to buy your products counts as a conversion in your goals. I would continue to monitor data from Search Console and analytics. I would also fix the OG data if you can. If you're going to be sharing these clocks on social media or getting people to reshare these. I would also heavily dive into content marketing. So heavily dive into content marketing via skyscraper / social outreach. So after you create your skyscrapers, make sure you're resharing all the different peoples who are contributing to your article to get to their audience as well. And then schema, data organization for the homepage, product markup for all of the sub pages, and then category pages if you can with product markup or review markup actually for the different products, which is a little bit different. Other than that, because the site is mainly like products and I can't really recommend more than that right now, besides like if you can put more content and do interlinking if you can, like underneath the different products. If you can do like, recommended other products or something. so you can at least get some links going to the other products. Other than that, that's pretty much what I got. So I hope that was helpful for you, Craig. And if you have any questions or you want to, take it a step further, and you want me to help you out with that, definitely can help you out. But that's all I can pretty much tell you from here. So we're gonna read the last questions, and then we're probably gonna end it. Craig says, you gave me more than enough to work on. It's been a privilege to have an SEO expert audit my site. Thank you very much, Chase. You're most welcome. Shared on all platforms. And then Devin said, Chase, you are awesome and very generous with your talents. Thank you for all the education. Hope you have a good night. Thank you for stopping by and for being here. So I'm going to end it now. Hope you guys have a great night, and we'll see you in the next video.